would you support a ban on TikTok in the current form in which the company right now operates in the U.S.?
The answer to that's yes. If the answer is it's going to be owned by the Chinese Communist Party, we ought not let that happen. But I try to be careful. You use the word ban intentionally because that gets everybody's dander up. It's not about banning anything that some young kid decides they want to do to show how cute they are, how fun they are. It's not about the content. It's not about the memes or the narratives or the dances. It's about the ownership, foisting information on our young people, and then extracting data from them. We can't let an adversary country do that to us.
You've also said that the Chinese president's real mission was to get you fired. What gave you that impression?
I don't want to talk about the details, but there was no doubt about that. He viewed me as someone who was serious about protecting America. And that meant for Xi Jinping, that means adverse to him. And I was pretty clear, transparent about it. I spoke about it many, many times. The confrontation that the Chinese Communist Party presents not only to the United States, but to every democracy, including this one, is real and serious, and we have a responsibility to protect our own people from them. And I think he saw that, and so he thought maybe we can try again. Maybe we can go back to the pile and get someone who doesn't share that same understanding. I don't think so, because I think President Trump shared that understanding as well, and I think he still does.
That's interesting. Do you hold China responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic, and do you think that the world has done enough to hold it accountable? And if you were to go to be in office again, would you take it up again?
So you had two questions. The first answer is yes, and the second one is no. So the first question was, is the Chinese Communist Party responsible for COVID? The answer is yes, and I'll elaborate, because that's important. And second, has enough been done to hold them accountable? The answer is not remotely close. We haven't been held accountable in any material way. The World Health Organization is still run by the same guy who's told us that the Chinese were doing a great job in protecting the world. We should never forget that.
Yes.
He's still in charge today. Imagine the next pandemic. Same guy, same country, same Wuhan lab. When I say that China is responsible, they created this virus in a laboratory. The virus escaped accidentally, not intentionally, but it escaped from that laboratory. For that, accidents happen. They probably didn't do enough. But in any event, that was not an intentional release. But what was absolutely intentional is everything they did from the moment they became aware that the virus was running around the world, a relatively contagious, relatively lethal virus running around the world. They did everything they could to deny the world the capacity to protect the innocent people who died as a result of this virus. They hid the story, they disappeared journalists, they disappeared doctors, all the things that no nation, India wouldn't do this, America wouldn't do this. If we had an accidental release from a laboratory in one of our countries, we would immediately tell the whole world this is what happened. We would get the best minds in the world to try to address this, and we would do everything we could to contain this in the absolute moment, real time. These guys waited a very long time and then sent thousands of people around the world to transmit this virus, killing tens of millions of people, destroying billions of dollars worth of wealth, and setting the global economy back by at least a couple of years. No accountability to date for what Xi Jinping did to the world.
I couldn't agree more. Russia or China, who do you think is America's biggest adversary at the moment?
Oh, you know, rank ordering adversaries is a bad idea. You have to address them all. If you ask which nation has the capacity to change the way that your grandchildren live, or if I'm blessed and have grandchildren one day, it's the Chinese Communist Party. They have scale, they have a big economy, and they are intent on that as well. So it's not only capability but intention. I don't think there's any doubt which of those two presents the greater long-term challenge to those of us who believe in basic human dignity and democracy.